Hello, my name is John Snow. I'm the caseworker with the Temple Foster Care Office. We've nominated Phil and Mindy Wheeler as Foster Parents of the Year. Phil and Mindy have been foster parents since July of 2015. They've had 15 placements, 3 current placements, and have done 5 respites. What has set them apart for our office is they have helped so many kids reunify with their parents, move on to a kinship placement, or age out into independent living. They've maintained excellent relationships with former biological families, and actually from their first placement down to one that recently left. When there's been difficult families that were upset with the whole process, they've won them over. They've been very good at maintaining those bonds. One of the best things I've seen was just out there doing casework when random clients that they've had from the past stop by to visit. It's just remarkable how they remain a resource for these children after they move on and transition into adulthood.
What was it that led you to decide that you wanted to become foster parents?
We talked about it years before we started having our own family, or started trying to have our own family. And then after years of infertility, we just figured, okay, well, then that's our plan instead. After a few years of fostering, then we had a surprise pregnancy, but that hasn't really changed our want to help the kids that need help and just open up our home a little bit and get more little feet running around.
Has your experience been anything like you imagined? Why or why not?
That's a trick question.
No, not
yes,
at all. Since we didn't have prior parenting experience, we didn't really know what to expect aside from what we saw like on Facebook and Pinterest. And a couple weeks after our first placement, I remember calling the caseworker and saying, I am exhausted. I don't know how to do this parenting thing. I am tired all the time. We're not making fun shaped pancakes. We're not doing fun trips to the zoo. We're just surviving. And she said, Facebook is a lie. So most days it's just survival. And she said, your body will adjust to having a child in the home. And I think we will forever be exhausted, but we accept it now.
Would you mind telling us what have been some of the challenges along the way and how have you dealt with them or overcome them?
I think really, yeah. I think it's about expectations. We didn't know what to expect, but anything that we assumed was wrong. Anything from our relationships with the kids or with the birth parents or how court would go or what it would be like having caseworkers and therapists and wraparound services and people in our home all the time. It just wasn't what we expected. So we had to adjust that a lot. We still do.
Then it changes as soon as you think you're used to it. And
yeah.
Something in the equation changes, and it's
just because it was one way once doesn't mean it'll be that way again.
What have been the biggest rewards for you as foster parents?
Seeing the positive outcomes. That's by far one of the biggest. Just every day though, just having
there's always a little something, whether it's, a teen that now gives you a hug goodnight before bed after months of pushing back and pushing away, or when a kid finally starts using their tools to help them with behaviors or with emotional regulation, and you see them successfully use those tools. Those are all.
The real big one though is when a former bio parent contacts you for advice or information or something
100%.
like that.
Yeah, the relationship that we have with a lot of our birth parents after the kids go home is just a huge blessing, and not something that's another one of those expectations that we didn't really have, but that was a good.
We didn't know to have it.
Right. No, that's amazing when we can still have that relationship with the kids and with the families.
What do you think has helped you to be successful?
Having a good support system.
Absolutely.
And that includes like everybody. That's each other and our extended families, caseworkers, teachers, therapists. Everybody helps in whatever way they can. But personally, I think us being flexible, being willing to change our mindset about how we think things should be done, and being willing to learn a new way and take our ego out of it and say, okay, maybe we don't know everything. We know nothing. We come to expect that what we think we know, we don't know.
What are some tips or advice you'd care to share with the other foster parents to help them be as successful?
Just be flexible.
Be flexible. Never stop learning.
Yeah,
It's new every day. And I mean, no matter what we do, we learn something from it.
right. And
Maybe not to do it again, but we learn something.
yeah, just adjust your expectations and what you think should happen, and listen to guidance from those around you.